We've got some
Hey,
fresh new
I'm
young
Luis.
talent
And
doing some
I'm
things that I
Luis.
know you haven't
And you're
heard
listening to the
before.
Content is Profit podcast. That's right. We are back with episode 210, and we bring you somebody that's a veteran in the world of publishing, someone that has leveraged their content to build a national brand.
That is right. Shout out to Mr. Adam Scheibel for introducing us to today's guest, who has recorded over 600, let me repeat that, 600 podcast episodes while growing his real estate investment company, with which he has purchased over 50 million in assets in the last 18 months.
Absolutely amazing. He's the founder and CEO of We Close Notes, a featured speaker and educator at dozens of investment clubs and real estate workshops across the country, and the podcast
Host.
and the host, podcast. So what happened, Fonzie? The podcast host of the No Closers show.
I totally missed that word, but it's okay. Please welcome the one and only Mr. No Closer and winner of the Just Made Up prize for the best yard in Texas, Scott Carson. Woo-hoo! What's up, Scott?
What's going on, fellas? What is going on? I figured you'd have some new walkout music. Just walk it out. Now just walk it out. Just walk it out. You know what I mean?
That's about it. We gotta start putting in the form when we bring people in. Just telling them like, hey, make sure you bring your dance moves.
Right? or like in baseball, like you have your walk-up music to the park. I always thought it would be like the equalizer, bum, bum, or or a little,
That would be pretty good. When we have the actual DJs on the show eventually one day, we're gonna have all that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Scott, man, thank you so much for being here. I'm extremely excited. I think you're the guest, honestly, that has the most podcast episodes, but it goes way beyond just that. I mean, when I talked to you on the phone and you told me everything that you do and the platforms that you're in, how invested you are into publishing, honestly, my mouth just dropped open. I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. We need to discuss this on the show. So before we get into that, who is Scott Carson, right? For those that don't know who you are.
Yeah, so I call Austin, Texas home. Picture of my backdrop here if you're watching us live or
Beautiful.
Catch it on the YouTube replay later on. Austin, Texas, been home. I've been an active real estate investor for over 20 years, been an active marketer for roughly about 25. And, I love what I do. I love working with real estate investors, both seasoned and brand new, to help them kind of expand their audience. Because I'm a big believer, no matter what you're in, whether you're selling real estate, selling notes, selling tiddlywinks, or whatever, we're all in the media space these days. And so that's one thing I pride ourselves on, as being a media expert. And we've done a really good job with our niche in the distressed note space. It's a niche within the real estate community. And that's why they call me the note guy. I'm the guy that started sharing videos of me going out and looking at properties or breaking down assets years ago. And, we've just leveraged our media expertise and our audience and always embraced it, kind of like, we don't need to go viral. We just need to get it out in front of one person and grow it that way. And so we look back and, that's a little bit about me. Love to cook. Yeah. You like to garden in a little small backyard as well too. Love to travel, but since we're not traveling that much, we're spending some time having some fun here.
Yeah, Scott, you're gonna have to send us some pictures of your yard so then we can put them, as an overlay right here when we're talking about it. After you told me that you have that awesome yard and you grow all these things, I was like, man, I want to see it. It sounds so amazing.
You can go to my Instagram and check it all out in there. We'll share my personal Instagram. I just picked a big yellow bell pepper off it just like 3 minutes ago walking outside. So yeah.
Beautiful. Wow. Before Fonzie start asking the really smart questions and the fun ones, right? Like I'm very interested, right? You mentioned a niche within a niche, right? Like, and I remember like when we first started our journey as entrepreneurs, not that long ago, we're 5 years in, right? But I remember having a very hard time trying to see, okay, what's my niche? Like, do we really need to choose a niche, right? And everybody out there that we looked up to, the people, our coaches, everybody's like, you guys have to figure out what that niche is, right? What we picked was a process, right? Like we were like, we don't want to be the people in the social media for the fitness. We don't want to be the fitness, the social media thing for the dietitians, right? We don't want to pick that because we weren't passionate about it. We're passionate about the process and the systems that we build that can apply to a wider, like a wide range of people that publish, right? So that was our specific pick. Now, I'm curious, how was that journey for you? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs starting their journey, that is a very big roadblock. And I believe that they have to crush from the very beginning to be able to grab some traction. So how was that part in there for you?
So with real estate investing, like many people go to workshops and seminars, and what's sold is a bad lie in the real estate industry. And I piss people off all the time when I say this, is that when people go networking to real estate clubs or expos, it's always about, hey, learn this new tool to add a tool to your tool belt. Okay. And so there's all different things and niches. And I'm a big believer, like, listen, you're going to get better with one tool and knowing that one tool. Like there's a guy replacing his roof 2 doors down from me yesterday. Those guys didn't have a saw and a ruler and all these tools. They had their damn hammer because that's what they're using most of the time. Yeah. And so that's what you have to look at. You go deeper versus going wide. And a lot of people want to go wide. Well, their message gets watered down because they're not really the expert on one specific aspect. Now, if you can identify one niche and really do a deep dive on that, become the expert in that niche, it'll boost your searchability. It'll also add value to your audience because you'll be the person that people go to talk about notes or going about content or monetize your podcast or video distribution or whatever it might be. Going deep is always going to be much more efficient than going wide, because if you're going wide, you're going to spread yourself out too thin. And there's enough people going wide. Like there's so many entrepreneurship podcasts out there. It's so generic.
So many.
Yep.
There's so many real estate podcasts out there that are so generic. People want to go for specific things, and that's why the niche is so valuable. And when I started diving in the note space back in 2008, I was leaving the mortgage industry. We had a big upturn with a great recession here in the United States taking place. And so I said, let's just hang our hat on that because that's what's available. And then when I started looking and researching, there was only a couple other people that were doing it. And nobody was embracing, real world marketing strategy. It was all like the dark ages. Let's go knock on some doors or send out 1 million letters and postcards. I'm like, nobody wants to do that. So I always make the joke that, hey, it's the 21st century and Scotty is here to beam me up and I'm giving her all she's got, Captain.
I love it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, the dark ages, how you notice that. And then you saying it is time for Scotty to take over, right? Like, what was it how did you notice that in the first place? I mean, you say you had marketing experience in the past, but what made you say, I'm going all into media, right? And Gary Vee says this very well. He's like, now every company is a media company first and then the other company, right? And you are the clear example of that.
So I'll give a great example is I was doing YouTube videos and not really being focused on, I'm actually on my second YouTube channel because my first one got shut down somehow. But anyway, I was traveling the country literally back in 2010. I sold everything that I owned except my dog and my truck and some clothes. And I was traveling the country. And I spoke 4 nights in a row at 4 different investment clubs, one in San Antonio, one in Austin, one in San Diego, one in LA. And every night when I walked in, before people even knew who the heck I was, I had somebody come up to me, hey, you're that note guy. I was like, you're that note guy. I was like, YouTube's working. It's a powerful tool. And my audience is telling me how to brand myself. And they didn't say you're the real estate guy. They didn't say you're the fix and flip guy or the apartment guy. You're the note guy. And that stood really strong. That was one major moment. The next moment was actually Halloween of 2015. I was in Las Vegas at an event, and I heard Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank, and he pitches pitches everything else these days too. But he was on stage, and this is just when Facebook Live was coming out and starting to do that stuff. And he literally got on stage and said, listen, if you want to be known, you have to embrace video. You have to start sharing it because it's gotten a lot easier to do it versus just using the old flip cameras like we used to do back in the day. You can do it now from your smartphone and you just embrace it. So the next day, November 1st, I was back in my office. I got my team together. So we're going to start doing daily videos of like a fly in the wall. What are we focused on today? And share that. And so we started doing that on Facebook Live, and we saw just a huge engagement on that when Facebook didn't, had a better algorithm.
A more friendly one.
Exactly, friendly algorithm. And that really did well. And that led to us doing that for 150 days straight. Really see the value of launching a podcast called The Note Closer Show. I was against doing a podcast because I didn't want to do all that extra work. I was like, what's the easiest thing? Okay, our phone or Zoom. And we've been doing Zoom, and we do a Monday night webinar for like 10 years straight now, just touching base. So that's the thing, is just, okay, let's embrace it and just start sharing and start sharing and start sharing. And now that's led to us having a lot of content, a lot of training. Actually, over 1,000 podcast episodes.
Whoa!
Hey, fact check, Fonzie.
I know.
That's okay. We got 660 on the main one, and then we've got 2 other podcasts that we are spun off from our main one to hit us over 1,000. Then I've been on over 300 other podcasts out there too. But that's not built overnight. And people say, "Wow, that's crazy." I'm like, if you think about that, we record 3 episodes on average, 3 to 5 episodes a week. It's an average thing. You just build that part of your marketing plan. And we've always taken the approach like, okay, what are we doing today? What's our first thing we're doing today to market ourselves? Is it a podcast episode? Is it a webinar? What's that first? And that's helped us get the marketing out versus most people wait till the end of the day. Or they're like, well, what can we throw against the wall with the least amount of effort? And I'm like, let's focus on it first. And the numbers don't lie.
Wow. I love that. What's the one thing we're going to do right now, first thing in the morning, to market yourself? I love that, because a lot of people, like you said, they wait till the end of the day, and then your willpower is through the ground. You're tired. You're hungry. You just want to go home, right? Take a little nap.
Yeah, well, I remember when we had, we started helping a network of fitness studios here in town, right? And I remember one of the things when we met with all the managers, we're about like 8 managers, right? We're like, where is content, like, in your day? Some of them didn't even have it. And then the ones who did, there was like the last thing, and there was like an afterthought. It's like, like you said, like just throw something out there so we can have something out there. And we had to flip that script, right? And the second that we did, right, obviously combination of leverage. How do we actually do this in a very smart way, in a way that actually like promotes the locations, right? Then everything started to change. But I love the fact that that's the first thing that you got to have in your agenda. Like what is the one thing that we're going to do to market the business?
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a question. I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned 150 days of live. That is absolutely amazing. I'm going to put a little bit of context to this question. My brother and I, we have a challenge called the 45 Live, right? And for you listening, you might know about it because we talk about it all the freaking time, right? And the last time we did it, we made it public for the first time. 100 people joined, and there might be a season 4 coming, so stay tuned. But Scott, for us, that was literally what kicked us into publishing mode. We did it for 45. Well, we actually didn't finish the 45 days in a row, but we saw results, right? At day 17, we closed our biggest deal to date. And I was like, wow, this works. Getting in front of people consistently, sharing with the right message, right? It works. But there is a lot of issues for people, challenges to get live. And most of them are a little bit of internal problems, right? A little bit, it could be confidence, you name it, whatever it is. But I'm curious for you, do you have that? Did something maybe, came to your mind that is like, why am I doing these lives? Or I'm afraid of jumping on live. I'm extremely curious of that 150-day journey.
So I just, we put it out there. I mean, it dates back to really 6 years prior to that. I said, I'm going to challenge myself and do 100K in 100 days. And so before the video side, I was doing a little short blog every day of what I focused on my business with photos and what I focused on. And well, like you, I never got to finish 100 days because by day 56, I was so busy and slammed. I'd already made 100 grand. So it was a blog I wrote sharing, and I saw a lot of momentum from that. So that's why I said, let's do 150 days straight. And we're just going to do it every Monday through Friday, 8 minutes to an hour on a different subject we're working on. But that's the thing, is if you're fearful, it's because embrace it. Hey, I'm brand new. This is my journey. I'm documenting my journey. It's like you see this in weight loss. People always wear themselves, take a photo on their bathing suit that's showing them their muffin top or their or their engine for their love machine hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have the after. If you start doing things on a daily basis of exercising a muscle or doing content, you look back in 30 days or 60 days, oh my God, you won't recognize what you were. You'll see all the momentum. You just have to give it time to grow. And I think that's why I make a lot of analogies in my coaching and training about, hey, like planting seeds. You got, and unfortunately, we live in such a society today that has such zero patience. We want instant gratification. We want to order that burger we see on TV and have it delivered in front of us, so we're smearing ketchup on our face in less than 30 minutes. You know, you got to give it time and patience, and most people don't realize the rules of marketing. You know, that 80% of sales or conversion comes after the 5th contact. And it's only a 2% on the first time they send an email out, 3% in the second, 5% in the fourth, and 10% on the 5th. But that most of your sales is in the touch and the follow. So that's the way about going on a regular basis. It's not everybody's waiting on Facebook at 11:05 a.m. for you to go live, or waiting for your LinkedIn post, or or on YouTube, although YouTube's got some analytics that you can use to figure out when they are.
Yeah.
You just got to start building that audience and stay consistent, because we live in a world of flakes. Everybody flakes off. Mm-hmm. We just need to stay consistent and share it and give it time. That's why we always said, I got to thank Gary Vee, 1 is greater than 0.
Yeah.
So it's like when I do a video or something, if one person see it, great, we're happy with it, we're moving on. Maybe that one person is the one person that needs to see it, but just sticking to it. I mean, everybody's scared to go on camera, but you all have a message. A great book to read is I talk about this all the time, is Tribes by Seth Godin.
Yes.
And it talks about how we have tribes around us, and our tribes are looking for leadership, whether it's at work, the office, church, or PTA, meetup groups, or podcast groups. We're all looking for leadership, and it might as well be you leading versus somebody else. And you don't have to lead your every tribe, but on the ones that make the most impact, it might as well be you sharing a message and getting it out.
I thank you for sharing that story, because people hear from us from the 45 days. The first time was 15 days. Second time was 17 days, right? For you, your blog, it works. Like it does work. And, that patience and consistency is a competitive advantage of your business, right? If you are able to stay consistent for a long period of time and then build little by little, brick by brick, those systems to keep that consistency as we move forward and getting those resources, you're going to win. Because guess what? You're going to be on top of mind of those people. And I want to touch on the tribe side of things. And I remember the first time that we started developing like people that are resonating with the message, right? It was like when we first launched the show, we were like right after like season 2 of 45 Live, and people started to like come in and ask questions and build a relationship. And those questions and that feedback shaped a lot of what we do now, right? Because we're like, all right, we're throwing this solution out there, right? What happens? Give me feedback. Like, is this good? Is this helping? Is this providing the results that you need? Immediately we're getting feedback and we're implementing right away, right? That was our specific case, because we were creating a system from basically scratch, right? And that helped us a lot. And sometimes entrepreneurs, they try to find a solution to a problem that they're having. And then when they put it out to the world, right, what happens is that feedback crushes it. Just last night, I was talking to Alex and Filippo. He was one of our guests, like initial 100 episodes. Great guy. And they have an incredible software company, which is Podmatch. Huge shout out, right? But we were talking about his journey on creating a software. He comes from the aerospace like industry. Yeah. And he was like, man, it was nothing what I thought it would be, because there's so much feedback. And he goes like, people are mean, man. People are mean. And I'm like, but he's taking it, right? Like we're going to kill him with kindness, right? At the same time, that's all feedback that they've implemented. And then those people turn around, right? And it happens with publishing, right? For them has been really intense because the growth has been incredible. But also with publishing, if it's that one person that you mentioned, it's incredible because that feedback is going to come. You take it, implement, and it's just going to get better every single day. So I appreciate you sharing that story with us. So hopefully, for you listener, it works. Try it out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me throw something on here. I think we're all scared of the trolls out there, and God knows we have so many trolls out there. So
the keyword warriors.
And here's the thing: you will never have somebody doing more than you are in a level above you talking negative about you. It's always somebody who's doing less or jealous of you. Yes. I had a mentor of mine, Greg Reed, who's the author of Think and Grow Rich, 3 Feet from Gold, talk about 3 buckets of people. We have our warm bucket of friends, family members that love us. They adore us. They're our biggest cheerleaders, right? Your tribe, your close tribe. You have the other tribe on the other side, the haters, okay, who just have a dark hole for a soul. All right. They're upset. They're not happy with life. You pray for them, or as we say in Texas, we say, bless their hearts. All right.
Yeah.
And then you have that middle bucket. Well, unfortunately, most people, when they start something new, we pay attention to the ugly bucket. Even though we had, 1 million people open an email, We had one negative troll respond something or say something negative online, and that shoots you all in the foot when that one person really isn't going to pay any attention or help you with your bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you have to do is say no to the trolls and and focus on the people that love you, serve them, and then the people in the middle that don't know you, that are on the fence. If you serve those two buckets, you'll be much happier, and eventually those trolls will go away because they're going to get tired of throwing that you're not paying attention, or you'll convert them, and then they'll show up and say, oh, I remember when you started off back in the day, and you're like, yeah, I remember when you were a troll back in the day too. You know what I mean? So that's hard for people in such a social, when you think about everything that's going on online and politics and religion and COVID, people are so much haters out there. You have to have a bit of a filter and a bit of a thicker skin and realize, hey, if you're doing something good, pay attention to those that you're trying to serve. Not everybody is your client. Not everybody is your audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a fourth bucket right there. All the bots on Instagram and on Facebook. Oh man, these are so annoying now. Don't pay attention to the fourth bucket either. But I love what you're saying, and I actually read a fun fact, I guess, this morning that it takes around 5 kind of like positive thoughts to take over one negative thought, right? So that means a negative thoughts take a lot of bandwidth inside of you. It takes away a lot, and that is the opportunity cost too, right? But what could you be doing through that time that you're spending worrying about the hater? So just like you said, push it aside, don't pay attention to it, and focus on the people that want your help, that you can serve the best.
Don't worry about the chunky thoughts. Is that how we're gonna call them? The chunky thoughts, the negative thoughts?
Is that what you want to call them? Sure.
I agree to that. I think you have to implement a next method mentality. And as an athlete, I played college football for a couple of years, and we always would say, like, don't let one bad play affect the next bad play. Okay. Yes. And you hear this all the time about quarterbacks since the NFL season starting up and stuff like that. Hey, they threw an interception. Don't let that bother you. Move on. Yep. And I long ago, I think I get this from my dad. It would always say, listen, shit's going to happen. Life is not fair. Yep. You're going to have bad things happen. The idea is here is not let one bad item, bad thought, bad comment derail you from what you're focused. Because if you allow a bad thought or bad comment to derail you, you have a weak mind and they are winning. All right. So I'm always a big believer. If something bad happens, we get a bad comment or something like that. I'm like, how can we fix it? Great. If we can fix it, we'll fix it. If we can't fix it, hey, we can only get 30 seconds to bitch about this, and then we need to move the hell on, because now they're winning and taking our valuable time. Never put good energy after bad energy. Does that make sense? Oh,
totally. I mean, with that, we grew up playing soccer. That relates so much, right? Yeah. Imagine if you spend all 90 minutes focusing on the mistake you made on minute 1, the bad pass. The game's over. Game's over right there.
When I first came here to the States, right? Like, we came on soccer scholarships, right? And my first coach was this British guy. And oh man, bless his heart. Same thing.
He was in the third bucket.
He was in the third bucket. So, and I remember, like, we were very lucky to have experiences playing in Europe, and the sport is so much developed there, right? And we come here, and it's like this British dude, and he puts a sub in 2 plays. Like, this is less than 5 minutes, 2 plays, and the rules here in the States are a little bit different. It takes him out after 2 bad passes. Like, this guy's coming in cold, right? It's gonna happen, right? Comes out, it destroyed the confidence of that player for about a month, right? Because then you're playing out of fear. You're like, what's going on, right? So we have to assume, like, life is just like sports. For those that are in athletics, we're gonna relate a lot to these situations, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember that was the last year of that coach in that college, because of the crazy things that were happening to the athletes mentally. We were upset because like, if you go out to the field, or if you go out to perform in a video, or if you go out to perform in a sales call, whatever, right? And something happens, right? We gotta, like you said, be very strong mentally to do that. How do we develop that? Through reps, and like you said, not letting that derail that. So I remember I was so happy that we had a new coach, because I'm like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think everybody wishes they could have Pep Guardiola. How do you say it? Pep from Manchester City coaching them in the soccer play. Absolutely. Because I think he's such a good aspect of that. I don't know if you watched the Netflix series or the Amazon series from Manchester City that came out. Yeah, he talks greatly about that, the mindset, and it's into his play. moving and passing the ball back and forth and stuff like that. So you get beyond screwing stuff up, and you only make mistakes really if you try to hang on too long for it. Using your team, using your systems to score, and the offense and the defense side of things. It's such a great analogy when it comes to being an entrepreneurship. Is if you try to take the ball all the way yourself, you're gonna have a hard time. But you got to put it in the hands of systems or software or other people to get things done, like what you guys are doing. So
put yourself in an opportunity for success. I absolutely love that. Thank you for sharing this. And now I want to move on a little bit to your podcast, right? And what opportunities has it created for your business? I mean, you said in the last 18 months, I actually read this from your website, 18 months raised over 50 million or invested over 50 million in assets. Absolutely amazing, right? Mind blowing. And I'm not saying this is because of just the podcast or whatnot. Obviously, there's so much more that goes into that. But if my math is right, you've been publishing this podcast for about 4 or 5 years, right? At 3 episodes a week, that'll give 4 years. There we go. Let's go. Thank you, Mom. She's a math teacher. She will be proud right now.
Yeah, public math.
and you said you got into the note space in 2008. Was that correct?
Yep.
So I'm curious, what has been the change? What have you seen from 4 years ago compared to, that math is a little bit more difficult as 24 years. So
here's how So the podcast is because it comes down to a couple of things. Like we all know, I look at engagement and people engaging with us. So we all know Facebook has about a 1% engagement aspect of thing percentage. YouTube's about 11 to 15%, depending on how niche your channel is. When you start seeing that podcasts have an 86% or greater engagement to people listening to the very end, you're in their ears. And as podcasters, we're all looking for more earballs and eyeballs to see our message, right? And so when I started my podcast, I was sharing content and sharing episodes and doing it daily. And I started getting phone calls from people that would call me up and say, hey, I listened to your podcast, or I heard you on somebody else's podcast. And I'm always trying to be on 2 other podcasts a week. So I hit 100 podcasts every year as a guest.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty easy to do if you just systematize it. And I started getting phone calls. I heard you on somebody else's podcast and I've been binging yours. I'm ready to sign up for a class, your coaching, or, hey, I don't want to do the work. I'd rather write a check to invest with you or buy an asset from you. And when we started seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of our strongest facets for marketing. Don't be wrong. We do webinars. We've got YouTube videos, but we basically embrace the podcast as being our really number one source to drive not only engagement, but to raise capital and to close deals. And we've even had asset managers at banks call us up, said, oh, I came across your podcast. I've got some assets to sell. Are you interested in buying? I'm like, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, baby, let's do it.
Go.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh, well, that too. But, all of it. The crowd is going crazy. Ballistic. Yeah.
And here's another thing. When we teach, we have a high-end coaching program like a lot of people do in real estate. And before COVID, we taught a lot of in-person people. And I had 6 people come at one point who paid $15,000 a piece for 3 days with me.
Wow.
And out of the 6, I always ask them, so how did you come across me originally? How did you connect? And 4 of them were like, we heard your podcast or we heard you on somebody else's podcast. I was like, well, 4 times 15, that's $60,000. That's worth it to just crank out content on a regular basis, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. That makes it amazing. I love the context that you share in that. I think it gives a clear path of what people need to do with their content. Start a podcast, guys, right now. It's going to increase. I mean, clearly it's going to help you with your business. It's going to, it raises the perception of status around the people that are consuming your content, which is huge, right? I'm curious, what was the percentage that you said on engagement for podcasts?
It's about 86 people listen to your 86% engagement. When you have your listeners listen about 86% of the time, unless you're Joe Rogan and you got 20 minutes of ads to begin with, then they probably click off after 20 minutes. But here's the thing, and podcasts are a benefit because you do get such high engagement. It's also can't be the only thing because only roughly 30% of Americans or less are actually listening to podcasts. Mm-hmm. And this is a big mistake I see podcasters do where they're just audio. They don't do the video. They don't leverage StreamYard, Facebook Lives, Restream, Repurpose, Zoom, whatever, to share the message in video form because it's basically record the same thing. So they're literally, if all you're doing is audio, you're missing out on really 70% of the population. And that's stupid. So we've always looked at, hey, how can we start record it once and then share it everywhere so that we're expanding our web versus just leaving a big hole in the middle of the web that's letting all these people that could be clients and stuff flow through. Let's share it everywhere.
Yeah.
And collect more people or add more engagement that way.
Absolutely. One of the concepts that we've shared lately, like a lot, is the change your perception on the show. And we call it a show because there's many pieces, right? Podcast is one of those pieces, is a distribution channel for just audio, right? So we call Context Profit a show because there's a behind the scenes element, there's the show element, there's the release of the audio, there's micro assets that come after. And we see it as a whole picture of 400 plus assets every single month. Like, okay, sweet. Guess what? All the accounts grow. People are seeing you. People are like, we've had people that are like, guys, I started seeing the show like a year ago when you guys started, and I cannot believe that this is still going like as strong as possible. Like a year later, what happens? Like content continues to come out on their newsfeed. They continue to see the face. They continue to listen to the voice. Maybe one of those days we find them in a very good day where they're like, oh, let me actually listen to that episode. Guess what? 86% of like that engagement. Then now we're in their ears. So we're developing the relationships. They get into the community. They start showing up. Guess what? This has to go on. So this is so important. And so thank you for doing that, because I think in 210 episodes, nobody has mentioned this in our show except us. So I want people to listen. Like if you are listening right now, change your perception of just that one channel. How can you leverage that 1 hour, 30 minutes that you are in front of the camera and expand that reach? And there's many ways, right? And for us has been multi-purposing and creating those points of contact. But start looking at creating your own system to make sure that you can leverage the time that you're investing in creating the content. So you can be in people's ears, minds, and hearts. And hearts. Hopefully hearts too, right? Yes. That's right. Yeah, love. It's I mean, I love everything. Right now. I love what we're talking about, the multi-purposing being in every platform. It actually reminds me, do you know who Russell Brunson is? Yep. All right. So it reminds me of one of his original pitches for a funnel, which is, who's the best salesman in your company? And people's like, well, me, obviously, like I'm the best. So that I know my message. I know what I'm selling. I got the passion. And he's like, what if you could replicate yourself and be selling 24/7? And people's like, whoa, how do I do that? A funnel. Well, it's the same thing with the message. Who is the best person that can share your message about your brand, about what you offer to people? Yourself, right? And guess what? You can multiply yourself, be there, out there 24/7 in 365, multiple platforms at the same time, right? And people get to see you and you get to be top of mind. You get that top of mind awareness, which is prime real estate when it comes to marketing, right? So now you clearly have system processes, right? You have 600 and plus, I mean, like 1,000 episodes of podcasts right now. Fact check. Yeah. Okay. 1,000 episodes. What do you do now? Because it's not enough to just publish it, right? There's promotion elements like we talked about, kind of like that multi-purposing. But what else do you do besides now to make sure, this information, your brand is getting to people's ears? So it's all about knowing what platforms your listeners are on, and sharing it where they're at. Not just people are like, oh, you got to share it everywhere. No, share it where your audience is at. You and I had the conversation, like Instagram's not one of my big channels because my avatar, my listeners are an older crowd, 45 to 65. So they don't spend a lot of time on Instagram, but they do spend time on Facebook, LinkedIn, and then also YouTube and some Facebook. So you want to go where everything is. I always say, like, it's nice to add a different channel a little bit once you've mastered it. I mean, I have an Instagram. We've got some followers on there, but our biggest engagement is YouTube and LinkedIn, and then our email databases. So, Gary Vee talks about taking your content and sharing across 4 channels. I think it's easy to find 8 channels, 4 major ones, and then 4 minor ones that fit in with your niche. But besides recording it, then we transcribe the full blog for SEO that goes to our website, not just chapters, word for word transcription. So that boosts our website. We also take that description and put it into our YouTube videos. We've got a VA that does it about a week later. Sharing it to YouTube, sharing it live, using Restream to rebroadcast the recording after we do a little bit of editing. We're not a big
big editor. I pay a guy on $5 or $10 to come and add my intro, outro, and then basically tweak a couple of things, and then it's just keeping it simple, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's like remove the friction, right? Like how can we continue to execute?
Yeah, and just having the systems. We've got a full production company, so I'm not having to do the work. It's cheaper than me paying somebody to do it. So it's a matter of, okay, record it, upload it, let them do the work. It gets uploaded and then emailed out to our guests, or it gets emailed out to our listeners, and then posted in blogs and YouTube videos and stuff like that, so that once it's recorded, it's literally going out 7 or 8 or 9 different places without me having to do all the work.
That's amazing. Key phrase, without you having to do all the work, right? Systems and processes, people miss that, right? And it's very easy to get lost in building a system that is so dependable of yourself. You are creating the content, you are doing this editing. Oh no, I need to have full control of this part of my message. And you know, hiring somebody that can probably do it better, honestly, right? And then guess what? We are not putting our attention and focus on the things that can actually move the needle within our business.
Yeah.
Delegation is one of the hardest things for entrepreneurs to let go of. We all have to, like you said, we are all control freaks as entrepreneurs. I got to do it, make it perfect. If I don't do it, it's not gonna be perfect. Here's the big thing. If we all have a smartphone, a Samsung or an iPhone, what version is this? This is like version 50, right?
Yep.
They didn't wait to try to make the phone perfect on the front end side. They sent it out to begin with, and every evolution, they made it better. That's how it works with marketing. That's how it works when you delegate. The first time that somebody does something for it, it may not be perfect, but it's going to get better. And as long as it's 70 to 80% of where you need to be, hey, you just cloned yourself and cloned your time frame and doubled your hourly wage, or doubled what you're worth, because now you have somebody doing the nitty gritty work. And as a mentor of mine once said, if you're doing $15 an hour jobs, you're going to have a $15 an hour bank account.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Absolutely.
Powerful. Yeah. Powerful. We remember like the first time that we launched a show, or not even launch, we recorded. It has so much friction because, Mr. Perfectionist here, wanted the 2 cameras and the light, and we were in his room. Actually, we were in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we had to like move the bed to one side. The setup took about an hour. And then after we're like, okay, we recorded the thing after like an hour and retakes and do it again because it's not perfect. And I'm doing air quotations here, right? And then it never got edited, right? Because there was so much stuff. And we're like, and at the time there was no team, no nothing. It was just us. And that stayed there. And then it took us another year to even try. That's how bad the scar was, because it took us another year to even try and record something. And before we even launched Content is Profit, we were doing the Facebook Live, and we did about 2 seasons. And then we're like, this is working. How can we now take the equipment that we bought about a year ago and use it? So we're like, sounds good. Let's launch a show. And it's like you said, it's like minimum editing. Really, what happens here goes out live on the audio platform, and we're okay with it, right? We're like, this is perfect. I remember episode 200. I'm playing with the mic, and the whole thing falls off in the middle of the show, right? It will happen, right? A little bit more exaggerated because it's me and it's always happened to me. But if you pay attention, like, you will get better. I promise you. So yeah, another great reminder for everybody.
Absolutely. Scott, I'm curious, do you leverage the podcast in any other way, right? And for a little bit of context on this question, we do with the guests that we bring on, right? We're like, oh man, these are the people that could be potential partners, right? There could be some synergy, maybe work together in the future. And I think some people know about this power, right? Right now we're building trust. We're building a relationship, talking for a full hour, right? And I think some people haven't grasped that concept yet of the power of relationship building that a podcast have. So I'm curious, do you leverage it in any way?
Yeah, you have to. I like to have people on or be on people's podcasts that I want to have a conversation with. Yep. And I always look at it as it's an hour or 30 minutes of one-on-one coaching of some sort, how to build a rapport with that individual, how to add value. And that's why we always try to the people I have on often become our sponsors of our show, or they become a sponsor for something else I'm doing. Wow. Or it becomes a guest appearance for somebody in my network that I know, that I add value to their stuff without asking for anything. It's just like, hey, I think so-and-so would be great. Are you looking for podcast interviews? Well, great. Talk to this person. Or, hey, I know you're trying to get booked. Call this guy up. Tell him I sent you. It'll be a warm conversation. And we've seen business grow from that. We've seen joint ventures grow from that. We've seen affiliate partnerships. It's led to me speaking on other stages like, hey, I want you to be a part of this. And that's the thing. It goes beyond just that 30 minutes to do it. It's just you have opportunities. Like I had, I had a guy on the other day from a national bank. Well, we've got a partnership we're setting up. I got a guy coming on Wednesday for a thing I'm doing. And he pitched this whole lending platform partnership for us. I'm like, oh, this is stupid for me not to say yes to, and that's the thing is, you never know what we're all like one connection away from amazing things happen.
Oh, baby, let's go. The one connection away. Love it.
These days, you never know who's listening. I mean, I have people, hey, I heard your show. I want to be on we've got a trade magazine called Scotsman Guide in our industry. In the mortgage industry. Well, the CEO reached out to me. I'm talking to him tomorrow. He said, hey, I want to talk to you about how we can expand more in notes. I want to pick your brain. And I would love to be a guest on your podcast. And I'm like, I'd love to have you as a guest on my podcast. Yeah, sure, let's do it. So to get it out now in front of, I don't know, he has 250,000 names on a database, a distribution list and stuff like that. That's huge. And he wants to feature me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay, this needs to be like such a big topic because this section right here, when like leverage the show, minute 40, by the way, like go back and listen to that again and implement. It's like just 2 minutes, right? But because it has changed everything from us. Like if you go to, for example, here's for reference, right? When we started the show, it was just the two of us. Now we have a team of 6 people, like on the production side for us and for the clients that we take. It's been growing. It's been fun. We've been learning. But everything has been done through the show, right? There's going to be a level, there's going to be a point where you need like support stuff. Like like for us, just so you know, like we have no blog is coming, right? The YouTube channel is very basic. That might be another field where we go in and dive in.
4 subscribers. I think I was your number 5 subscriber to your YouTube channel. We got to talk after the show. We got to talk after the show.
Yeah. So there's a BIZBROS clips that's out there, right? And has something. And then there's the show itself, right? So again, like attention has not there because this is what our focus is on. And if you go to bizbros.co, by the way, I think the it's like under like construction, like it's paused at this time. But what was there was the sales letter, and like the hook is like the 6-figure sales letter, right? And it's not what you think, because that was the sales letter. People are like, no, you need this piece. You have to have all this ready to be able to build a business and grow. And we're like, no, you do not need to. You need the relationship, right? And obviously the results and the solution that you're offering. And we got to a point where like, okay, we can now apply some resources into developing that. But the building, it was just this platform, just this 1 hour to the elements that you mentioned, right? Strategic partnerships, showing up in different events, authority building, different things that you can leverage to be able to create that value for your dream customer. So I want people to understand, right? That's so valuable, and go ahead and do it. Go invite that person to your interview, to your Zoom room, to your StreamYard, whatever that you really want to have a conversation with. I promise you, out of 200 interviews that we've had, only one person said no, and we got them to say yes after another guest.
After we threatened them. What?
Shouldn't have said that. Oh, yeah. So, by the way, and the reason the reason they said no is because we couldn't get past their gatekeepers. But the second we communicate with him, he was like, absolutely, let's do it, right? So it can happen for everybody.
And you look at, it's gotten so much easier to have people on podcasts because everybody's stuck at home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're looking. I mean, look at Matthew McConaughey. You know, all right. I'm going to write a book and I'm going to be on a bunch of podcasts because I'm going to be running for governor. But if anything, I'm going to go out and promote my soccer club, the Austin Football Club, and I'm going to show up in a green suit and play the bongos.
Yes,
it's you think about that, how marketing has changed. Most of the stars are behind gatekeepers and agents and stuff like that. But you look at a lot of them, they've all got podcasts, and they like sharing, swapping. Anna Kendrick's got a popular one. A lot of them are coming out, and they want that.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Not marketing, but that exposure in a lot of cases. To go out there and just ask. You never know who you'll get to say yes to.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, you can see now the networks coming up. You can see, Spotify buying podcasts, building their own podcast. HubSpot now, they have their own couple of podcasts that they're launching. it's a space that is growing, lots of potential. But I'm curious, until when do you see this growth, right? How long do you think it will last for people to have access to other people as open, I would say, as freely as they have it right now, right? Because I would think it'll get to a moment where there's going to be some sort of wall right there. And, there's going to be a differentiation between, let's call them level A influencers and level C. And it's going to be a challenge to get a hold of certain people. How do you see this growing?
So my opinion, and that's just an opinion, that and $4 might buy you a cup of coffee at some point. But podcasting is what, 1.5 million podcasts out there, something like that is the numbers. I think I've seen somewhere. And that might seem like a lot, but that's still minuscule when you think about all the blogs, the YouTube channels, and the Facebook profiles. Mm-hmm. A podcast is becoming much more like a business card these days. It's a business card or like a book. How everybody's like, oh, I'm a bestseller at one point. Well, that got watered down with Amazon. Yes, I'm an Amazon bestseller at 2:30 in the morning. But no, for my 10 buddies that bought that time, I'm a bestseller now.
At 90 cents for the Kindle.
Exactly. I'm the bestseller in motivation, or midnight sales. I hate to say that, but podcasting is becoming a little like that. But it's becoming like that if you don't stick to it. What adds value is consistency, hitting 100 podcast episodes, 200 people use it for writing things. You have think about all the series, like Southern Fried True Crime is a great example out there. They've got chapters every year that they do a chapter, or you've got some series that are coming out that are only 13 episodes or 20 episodes, and they're leveraging that for content. I think we're going to hit a point, and then there's going to be a huge number where Apple goes in or other thing, and they just basically, if it's not been active for a year, they're just going to clean sweep and reset the numbers in a lot of cases. Yeah. And those, there are platforms, especially with Spotify and some other, they're trying to build, and you're going to see more, maybe not as big as Joe Rogan's contract, but others kind of move to that paywall. But that paywall is a good thing. It's also a very bad thing, because at any time you have a paywall or you restrict the ability for people to come in, people are hesitant, especially to spend dollars these days. They want to hear something. They want to get to know you. And there's nothing better than being in somebody's ear for 30 minutes or an hour that they get to know you and build rapport. Yeah. And I think you have to keep doing, hey, I've got 1,000 episodes, or I've got, you can't do the bare minimum and try to get by, which is what most people want to do. Hey, I'm going to record 10 episodes and I want to monetize immediately. You can do that, but if you're not consistent and flaking off like a lot of people, it's the consistency. It's going to be the most valuable. So you really need to set a kind of like, hey, I need to get to 50 episodes. I need to get 100 episodes. Yeah. And maybe you go from daily to twice a week a little bit, because that's a lot of momentum and a lot of stuff to work on. Yeah. But you really got to say, hey, who's in your field, who's in your niche, and look at what they're doing as a bit of an idea how to compete. I mean, I'm lucky that when I started, there was maybe one other podcast in the note space, and it was 2 students of mine that did it for 2 years before I did. Then when I found out they weren't going to do their podcast because they were going separate ways, I was like, there's an opportunity. Let me jump on this.
Absolutely.
And now there's 6 or 7 other podcasts, my niche, but ours is still the number one because the fact is it's consistent. Yeah. We show up. Not everybody likes me. You're going to have haters, and sometimes I think haters just listen just to hate, which is okay. I'll take that download number. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Bucket number 3, guys. Bucket number 3. Wait, real quick. I love what you're sharing, and just so you know, team, cut this part right here. In 5 years, when this prediction happens, we're just gonna throw it in social media like Gary Vee.
Put it in the prediction folder. That's how it happened. Prediction folder.
It's funny you say that, because I've been called Nostradamus before, but anyway,
Nostradamus.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Hold on.
Yeah. I mean,
it's okay. Honestly,
the studio clap.
Compared to my brother jokes, that was I thought it was a pretty good joke.
Hey, man, this is gonna happen. There's gonna
hopefully the crowd knows who Nostradamus is, and they put 1 and 2 together.
Wow, you had to call this joke.
I mean, no, for the crowd, the audience.
Anyways, okay, stop, Fonzie, stop. Okay. Anyway, so people got the joke. So here's a very striking stat, right? Between 70% to 80% of podcasts don't go past episode 7. It's like, what?
Those are all hosted on Anchor.
Yeah, well, I had zero experience with Anchor, but so here's the thing, right? Like, it shows a lot of, okay, what is the commitment, right? Why are we actually publishing in the first place? And a lot of the things, if you are a business or a service provider or a coach, right, it's gonna, like, we gotta understand, we gotta assume that it's gonna take time, right? So it's like, if we want to monetize it, right, what's the fastest path to cash? There's many of those, but at the same time, it's like the double platform that we saw, like audience building. Yes, it's gonna come with consistency. So if we crush, between 5 or 2 a week, right? Like, it depends on your capacity. And if you want to find out more about this, we have the publishing pyramid training. Just send us a quick DM. We talk about this. And then on the back end is like, what is my fastest path to cash? Those relationships, strategic partnerships, deals, different things that can happen with the person that we have that conversation with. So we just encourage you guys to, like, consider, like, how does that look like, as far as, like, who's my dream person that I'm going to have a conversation with, that conversation, the topic itself is going to help my audience find solutions to their problems and build the trust that I need to then later bring them into my world. So it's a whole ecosystem that we can develop, and it's not that hard to start executing on it, right?
Yep.
So this has been incredibly useful, wonderful, so awesome. Fonzie, do you have any other smart questions?
No, I ran on my list of questions, Scott. Thank you so much. But we do have 2 questions that we always ask towards the end of the episode, and I'm gonna actually put a parenthesis here because we talk about this, right? We do this as these segments, and then we get to use these little bits for multi-purposing, right? And putting them all over the place. Kind of like, the live show with Jimmy Fallon, all those. If you go on YouTube, they have those very specific segments that they multi-purpose. So close parentheses, and we're going to go with the 2 questions. Scott, number 1 is, what is that action point for somebody that is, let's say they already started their publishing journey, but they might be a little lost on, I'm not hitting the right audience, I'm not getting the engagement that I want, or I'm just, throwing spaghetti against the wall.
The number 1 action is to reach out to somebody who's successful. Most successful people are willing to give their time, 30 minutes, an hour, to somebody who's brand new and help you overcome. And I've found that in the podcasting industry is such a friendly environment because we're not competitors. We're not really chasing for the same thing. We have similar audiences, but it's a different thing. So reach out to somebody who's a peer, somebody who's doing well, and then listen to them. Be coachable. Too many people ask for counsel, and then they're given counsel. They don't want to do that because they're lazy or they want to do the bare minimum. If somebody tells you to go do A, B, and C to get 6-pack abs, just going to C isn't going to get it done. You got to do A, B, and C to do that. So be coachable. If you're struggling, reach out to somebody and listen to what they're saying and go for them. You really have to have a passion about it. If you're just trying to be a flash in the pan, you're not going to find success. And you've got to realize it's an investment in time, an investment in energy to find success. The most successful people are because they've been consistent, they've taken more reps, they've done more than what you do, and that's why they're at the top.
Yes, love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you listening right now have pen and paper and you wrote that down. If not, back up like a minute, listen to it again and write it down. And then do the reps.
It can be your notes app in your phone too. Doesn't have to be pen and paper.
Pen and paper. It's proven. It's proven.
Or just send the file to rev.com and have it transcribed for $1.25 a minute, or Octopus or Otter and have it transcribed for free. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Or you can go to Upwork, put a full-on application for a VA, and then tell, hey, can you write this for me?
Simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Absolutely. Scott, the last question here is, where would you be if you didn't publish?
Oh my gosh, if I didn't publish, where would I be? I would probably not be where I'm at today. I would probably be working back in corporate America. There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5 or a job, but I like to think of myself as unhireable because my hourly of what we bring in on an annual basis is more than what I would be getting. And I would not have nearly accomplished the things that I've been able to accomplish. I wouldn't have been able to go to the places that I've gone to and travel. And that's all come from the fact that I started publishing and sharing things. And I realized that the videos I was doing, I may not have had any views on it for months or 2 months, but it was all adding to my online resume. It was all adding to content that would be there for people to go back and check it out. So I don't know what I'd be doing. Probably a coach, or probably working as a banker back for a bank. But I would have not lived what I have and accomplished what I have. So that's one of the most important things. That there is freedom in doing your own thing. And I mean, you have good days and bad days, but I will tell you right now, the bad days now are so much higher than the peaks were when I was working at a JOB.
Wow. Thank you so much. I love how you spell the word JOB. It's like it's like Voldemort, you know, you don't say the name.
Just over broke, you know what I mean?
Just over broke.
Yeah, and I also love how you call it, the online resume. I think that it's a good way to put it, because people do the research. Everybody at heart, you know, at the bottom of our hearts, we're a little creepy sometimes, you know, and we're gonna do the research. We're gonna be like, who's that person? Check their Facebook, check their Instagram, check everything. And then it's like, okay, I can trust this person on the other side. And the better your online resume looks, the more trust you're going to get from those people.
Yes, as long as you're not putting fish lips up, or showing your ass, or squeezing your boobs together. Yeah, that works really well. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
No, we're not work with any of us. We're too hairy for that.
No catfishing. No catfishing over here.
And instead of TNA, it's truth and true assets, not tits and ass.
Oh my gosh. This episode's turning a turn for the late night show. We're gonna
okay, here's what everybody's looking for, and this is a true, honest thing. Everybody's looking for more ass. Okay, and by ass I mean assist, strategize, and support. Okay.
Whoa.
So if you want to get more ass, you need to turn into the Content is Profit live show, everybody.
Let's go.
Let's go. I love it.
We just found our episode hook, by the way.
Yes,
so Fonzie, I make notes over there. Okay.
I wrote it down.
More ass. Okay.
Minute 8:58 right here. Ooh. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you, my man. All right, Scott, where can people find you? Where can people connect with you? Where can people learn more about what you do?
Yeah, it's really easy. You can go out to the website, weclosenotes.com. Very simple. That's our main website with our podcasts, our blogs, our classes, stuff like that. You can check out all the podcasts I've been a guest on my media page. But weclosenotes.com is the main page. Or you can always check me out. I'm usually the only one Scott Carson out there, except for an English soccer keeper, Scott Carson. So I'm the second most famous Scott Carson out there.
Let's go.
I think you beat him, honestly, because who knows? Yeah, who knows the other is Scott Carson?
That's our international audience knows, not the United States for the most part.
Dude, awesome, Scott. Thank you so much. Is there anything we might have missed out that you want to add before we head out?
Here's the biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen. Your only thing you guarantee by not taking action, by not hitting the publish button, is failure. It doesn't do you any bit of good to record something and not share it with the world. Embrace the suck, fail forward, and embrace success. That's what you have to do. You're going to suck. Everybody sucks at first. Just get it out there. Hit that publish button. Share it. Start sharing your message, and you'll be a lot happier in the long run. And, of course, hit that subscribe button and leave a 5-star review for these guys now. They love what they're doing. Do it now.
Yes. Thank you so
Scott.
much, Scott.
I appreciate the shout out. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. It was so fun having this conversation with you, man. To many more years of success in publishing and the business. And with that said, thank you so much for tuning to the Content is Profit podcast. Go ahead and follow the show in your favorite platform and on social media at BIZBROS Co.
That is right. And Scott here, help you move one step closer to your goal. Please don't forget to share this episode and leave a 5-star review. See ya.
Bye, guys.